Well, would you look at the time? It's Necron o'clock. But if only I had some Necrons to... Oh. That was easy. Before we get to the 100 warriors, we can simulate our battle plan using this advanced software I've deemed the Advanced Realistic Simulated Environment. Now, going on the only map that exists, and... warriors please, yep. Thank you. Then, we use the warriors to defeat our enemies. Genius. A victory. Now why don't we make some? I've been hoarding Necrons for years, for just this moment. And we've got 2 Indomituses, Indomitees, that gave us 20 warriors each, that's 40 warriors. A few issues of Imperium magazine, so that's 4, 4, 6 and 3, which is 17 warriors. 3 of these Recruit Edition starter sets, so that's 10 each, 30 more warriors. And lastly, we've got something very special here today. Necron warriors in their very own box. Now, in the future, this won't make much sense, but currently, in March 2023, no one on Earth has ever bought a box of Necron warriors on their own. And that's because, for £2.50, you can get the Recruit Edition box, which has everything the Warrior box has, but you also get a Royal Warden, 5 Assault Intercessors, a Primaris Lieutenant, a little bag of dice, a useful book, this stuff, and most importantly, some whippy sticks. Or, for your £2.50, you could get 8 Fredericks. Or instead, a single packet of pocket monsters. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Ah. Ooh. Ah. Oh. Well, I actually quite like that. So the point was meant to be that this was the obvious deal, but this is I like this. Well, that was stupid. Step 1: let's free all the warriors from their boxes and put them in a big pile. Whoop. Now don't worry, I'll be putting these Space Marines in their own special place. Okay, I'm just kidding. They get their own special box. There we go. And lastly, now being extra careful not to damage our special box. Very careful. Ooh. It's like Christmas Day. Very slowly. Ooh. Nice and careful. Ooh. Okay, the hard part's done. We'll just put him to the side gently. Ooh. And he can live right over here. That is a lot of warriors. I should have mentioned this earlier, but I do already have 500 points of Necrons. I saw the Fate Combat Patrol in the Codex and thought, yeah, I want one of those. So, introducing a single Overlord. 3 Scarabs. 3 Scorpex with a little gimp bot. A big tall Canoptech guy, who I've lovingly called Lanky Larry. And most importantly, 10 warriors. But we'll go over the scheme in much more detail later. I just needed to come clean. Prep step number 2. We've got most of what we need in our plastic glue, our little snippers, and something to remove mould lines. Now, we're only missing one thing, but it's the most important part of Warhammer. The little rocks you put on bases. But to get these, I had to do the unthinkable and go outside. Ooh. A beautiful day for a rock hunt. But where do rocks live? Ooh, that's a lot of rocks. 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 To start with, let's find out how long it takes to build one warrior, and then we can just multiply that by 74, and that's how long it'll take, right? Well, to help me with this, I bought this little timer that I'm now realising doesn't do hours. So every time it passes 60 minutes, I'll note it down, and we'll see how long it takes after all 77 are built. With just building a single warrior and seeing how long that takes. If we just go. Ooh. It's either the Necron looking head or a made up head that's not here. Great. That'll do. There he is, looking beautiful. One side looking good, 2 sides looking good. Time. Oh God. That's a lot of minutes. Well, hey. Got our first warrior though. Well, he's looking pretty good. Now it's only to do that 73 more times. Oh God. After doing some intense calculations, it's supposed to take, on that time, at 1 warrior every 9 minutes, supposedly it'll take 10 hours. But that can't be right, can it? While that nerd's building a bunch of Necrons, let's go to Lore Corner to learn a little about our metallic friends. Each Necron used to be a person like you or I, except different because they were aliens called the Necrontier. One day, a big meanie called the Deceiver got all angry when he couldn't scrub off the gold paint he'd put on as a goof. To take his mind off it, he'd steal the souls of all the Necrontier, which in turn turned them all into the robots we know and love. But it's not all bad being a robot, because now they're immortal, as all this happened 65 million years ago. Thanks. That's been Lore Corner. Good one, Robert. There's just so many warrior weapons to choose from, but how will you know which to go with unless you do a warrior weapon ranking? In at a B, we've got the Gorse Flayer, the rangier one, which is good. And in at an A, we've got the Gorse Reaper, the killier one, which is also good. That's all for this time from the warrior weapon wanking. Oh. And there he is, the last warrior. Surely I'll make him quicker this time, right? And go. Where's your arm? Where's your arm? And time. Hey, that's a bit better. Turns out doing something 70 times gets you a bit better at it. Who'd have thunk? And there we have it. 97 beautiful little robots. And all it took was 7 hours and 22 minutes. Plus 30 minutes to cut off all the extras. Now there's so many, I can't even fit them all in the shot. But you might have noticed, we've got one intruder. A painted warrior. And he's here because it's time to talk about basing. Which means it's rock o'clock. For the rocks we got earlier, some of them were a little too big. So, as a simpleton, the only solution I could think of was to hit them with hammers until they were smaller rocks. Which worked. So once a model has a little bit of plastic and a couple of rocks glued to his base, he should look like this. It may not look great now, but with the Astrogranite it should look a lot better. Now let's see how long it takes to do the rest of them. All done. And that only took 2 hours. I'm pretty sure I'm a lot dumber from breathing in all that super glue, but that's okay. Some get rocks, some get heads, and some get nothing, but all got little magnets on their bottoms. And now, it's time for the fun part. Paints. We'll need these ones. Like a trip to the fridge, the process of painting a warrior takes 20 steps. To help show these steps, we'll need help from your friend and mine, Susan. Step 1. Prime lead belcher. Step 2. Astrogranite that base. Step 3. Administratum. Is that real? Administratum? Jesus Christ. Administratum. Step 4. Give him a null oil wash all over. Corax white dry brush over the base. Oh, sorry, that's the wrong warrior. Corvus black all over the raised metal parts, excluding the feet and his shoulders, and head, and chest, and gun. Incubi darkness over the shoulders. Abaddon black over the gun and feet. Abaddon? Yep. Another warrior, okay. Nope, not him. Retributor gold over the face and chest. Layer 2 of Incubi darkness over the shoulders. A Coelia green shade wash over the shoulders. Cyberite green dry brush over the shoulders. And any other bit you've done green. Like melee weapons. I should have mentioned that earlier. Treat melee weapons like shoulders. Something to live by. And the next step. No, another warrior. And next phase. Layer 2 of Corvus black. Then layer 2 of Retributor gold. And a second layer of Abaddon black. Next up, Agrax Earthshade over the gold face and chest. And a dry brush of Liberator gold over those same gold bits. And next, a fire, you don't even count. For any power cables, the little gun balls and his eyes, we're going to be using Corax white. The penultimate step, go over some of the raised lead belcher with Stormhost silver. Not really noticeable, but that's okay. And the final and most important step, Administratum Grey around the rim of the base. And there you have it, one completed warrior. Now, let's do some painting. You know what time it is. That's right, it's prime time. First, let's give our can a nice warm bath. Now it's all warm, I'm just going to follow the instructions. Ta-da! An amount of warriors, nice and metally. It's day 1, and I've got this janky as hell setup, but let's do some painting. And I'm in position. I've got my little lads all ready to go. Some of them on these shot glassy things, some on the old doorknobs, one on the the thing that looks I've got some vitally important fuel, a creme egg.
That sounds boring as shit.
Yeah, that sounds terrible. Plus this thing's 10 pages long. You know what?
I forgot to record the end of day 1. So now it's day 2. Progress was slow on the first day, but hopefully I can finish off these 20. One thing I didn't think about was how annoying it is to paint 20 different lads all at different stages, because you have to try and remember what stage everyone's at and try and catch them up to each other. And you can't do things in convenient batches. So a lot of yesterday was just like getting one to the stage next and then getting them both to the stage next. It's really messy. Pro tip, don't do that. Got the same setup as yesterday on this weird little cushion on the floor, and to help me with this I'll be watching Arrested Development from the start again. It's nearly 1 and I'm a sleepy boy. Hopefully I can finish off these 20 tomorrow, but I'm not as close as I thought I'd be. Either way, I am tired, so I will go to bed. Nighty night. It's day 3. It's 4 on the 15th of it's March. Yeah. The last 2 days were, I made progress, but today hopefully I'll be able to finish. Can you even see these? These 12 gents, these are all at the same stage, and he's just a step ahead. And they'll go into the done box. Ooh. But then I also have these now looming over me. Which there's quite a few in there. But I don't think about that. I'm just going to finish these today and see what else I can get done. I was using this wrong yesterday, I now realise, but that's okay. And I thought I'd watch some BoJack Horseman, because I've heard it's really good, but you just have to get through the first season, basically. So I'm on episode 4, and hopefully it gets alright soon, but I won't really be watching it. I'll be looking at Little Metal Men. I'm changing shows. It was good, but yeah. And there we have it. 12 done, lads. Can't see them very well. And all it took was an amount of hours. But I'm finally free from the lazy Susan warriors. Is there anything more iconic than a Necron warrior? I don't know, but I know a way to find out. Consulting the official troop iconicness tier list, we can once and for all say which troop is the most iconic. But to my surprise, no one's done it before. So to begin with, let's... and done. And as we can see, there's nothing more iconic. It's day 4, and I'm finally free from Susan's 20 men. Also, I realised I could just use the clock as a timer if I just set it to 0. So, we've got a proper timer now. We've got 20 lads in the box of done lads, which is good. And the plan for today, keep it simple, no brain power needed. I'm going to astrogranite all the lads. It doesn't sound very fun, but that's okay. And hey, it won't take that long, right? Well, that was quick. It only took 5 hours. Oh. But hey, they're all done. They're still wet. And now I'll never need to astrogranite ever again. It's day 5. But it's been 7 days total, because I took 2 days off to go and celebrate a birthday. I'm going to see how long it takes to Mechanicus Standard Grey 77 Warriors bases. And for entertainment, I thought, it's time for Bob's Burger. And weirdly, the episode I'm starting on, look, it's the GW thing. Oh, it's gone. Bob. And done. Not bad. 77 little lads with grey bases. Now, I think the ones at the back should be dry, so I'll attempt the Nuln Oil step. Good God, this might take a long time. First off, let's reset the clock. I don't know about you, but nothing scares me more in the whole world than tipping over a bottle of old Formula Nuln Oil or Agrax. So to remedy this, we're making the non-tipper over 1.0. To make the non-tipper over 1.0, you'll need the thing we don't want to tip over. This is an empty one. Some duct tape. Scissors. And cardboard. This happens to be the best of all the cereals. Please don't argue. Now we just cut, roll, tape, put it on a thing, and more tape. And you've created the non-tipper, what did I call it? Oh, that took a while. But they're all nulled. The non-tipper over 1.0 did its job. I'm all nullny. So that is a success. Jesus though. Nuln absolutely reeks. So now I can let them dry and run away to get away from the smell. And you know what? I'm going to go to sleep. It's day 6. Let's see how long it takes to paint 6 warriors. I've started the clock, so let's go. Oh God. Okay, so that took a little while. Might have to do some planning about this one. Hey. Positives though, these 6 are looking pretty good for my low standard. But my brain has melted, so I'm going to go to sleep. Nighty night. Why don't we take a trip back in time and look at some of the older warriors? The eagle-eyed of you might have noticed that I've been lying this whole video. The thumbnail says 100 warriors, but we've only done 97. Well, here's 3 more. We've got really old warrior, really old warrior, and really old warrior. Now, if you want to see a good video on warrior retrospectives, there's one by Snipe Wib that I'll link in the description. But for a very basic history lesson, we've got number 1, who was Android, or Chaos Android, from the Space Crusade box. I got this off eBay for way more than it should have been. He's a beaut, a little plastic, very old lad. With his gun, he's about the right height of a warrior. He's taken the scheme pretty well, and I think he looks rather neat. Warrior 2 was actually called Necron Warrior 2 when it was originally sold back in, I don't know, 1,000,000 years ago. He's metal. I don't know what metal he's made of, but I haven't licked him because he might be lead. He's very heavy and very big and strong. He's doing a macho pose, and his gun is really weird. I've lovingly called him Necron Warrior 2. And then for our final warrior, here's one I had when I was a kid that was covered in manky old paint, but I resprayed him and gave him a new scheme. Now he's looking lovely, and he'll fit in with the rest of his brand new friends. And the green rods are iconic, though I don't want any more than just this one, thank you. And there you have it. That's been a warrior retrospective. Thanks. It's a new day. Day 7. I skipped yesterday because my neck started to really hurt, like I was going to die. So I just lay down for the whole day, like functioning adults do. But I've got a new setup, so I don't have to sit on the floor. Got it all set up with my 6 lads and my light. And importantly, I've got some snacks. What's its crunchy things? And some Tunnocks tea cakes. And don't worry, I know what you're thinking. It's a family business. Today's entertainment, more Bob's Burgers. And hopefully, it can't go worse than yesterday. So see you in 7 and a bit hours. Well, that's 5 done. And weirdly, it took the same amount of time as it did to do 6. I'm not really sure how that works. But I did take a lot of breaks. But hey, today's been a successful day. It's quite late, so I'm going to go to bed. Nighty-night. It's day God knows 8? I've lost track of time and space. I know nothing. However, I've got 5 lads to do. One's been dry brushed, don't look at that. 5 lads. Who knows how long it'll take? And just to date what day it is. Look at that beautiful boy. He got announced earlier this morning, I don't know, Adepticon time. He looks incredible. I'm not really a Space Marine person, but I am a Terminator person. And whew, that is a Terminator. So let's paint. And there's another 5. Look at them. Beautiful. In their splendour. They're still wet. And it's very late at night. But I did it. And it took quite a lot less time. So that's good. Good news. Only 1 billion more? Nighty-night. Hi, this is me from the future, but for you the past? To tell you, at this point in the project, I started to realise how long it would actually take to paint this many warriors, with such a slow scheme and no speed painting techniques, and turned into a little goblin. Essentially, my days for a few weeks boiled down to oh, yay. Oh, yay. Oh, yay. Oh, yay. Oh, yay. And then to make things easier, my buddy came over and we watched a terrible movie. As he painted his much cooler than my models Inquisitor thing. And it was fun. Now while all that painting's going on, why don't we take a trip down to Combo Corner, where we can talk about some of the best combos you can do with warriors. These include an Overlord, who makes your lads move faster and can res them when they die. A Technomancer, who can, you guessed it, res them when they die. And finally, a Ghost Ark that I don't own, who can res them when they die. That's been Combo Corner. Thanks. It's the final stretch, and I've done the unthinkable. Read a book. Ugh. I was hoping to learn a little about warrior lore, but they weren't really in it much, except for these pages. From this, I think I've got this biotransference thing figured out. It's a simple system. You've got your royals, they become overlords. Nerds, they become cryptex. Soldiers would be immortals. If you're a Spec Ops badass, you become a Lich Guard. And disgusting plebs like you and I, we become warriors. It's a beautiful system. And that's been a mini lore corner that gives us just enough time for the final warrior. Honestly, this has been a long month of warhammering. I don't really remember the start of it, but I know I'm very excited to finish them off. So, one more warrior. And there he is, the 100th warrior I've painted for this video. He looks just the same as any of the others, and that's okay. And I've got a special spot for him, right about here. But now it's over, I need something to commemorate my first video, aside from all the warriors. And we need a place to keep this very special box. So to kill two birds with one stone, we just... not weird at all. And there we have it, 100 warriors. In total, it took over 150 hours to do all these lads, not including the fake combat patrol I already had. And combined, I still don't have 2,000 points, but I'm getting close, and I reckon by the end of next video, I can play an actual game of Warhammer 40,000. And for one last time, thanks. Oh, I nearly forgot my favourite combo. And for this one, we'll demonstrate it with a metaphor. Look at the warriors down there ready for action, and they'll be getting a buff from a Chronomancer. This one will be a part of our next video. So his buff gives a friendly unit a 5-up invuln, which will be represented by this regular towel, which will cover over the lads like so. Just, yep, like this. Then, when damage comes their way, represented by these books, they'll be completely fine. Like so. And don't worry, it's just a metaphor.